tell me. I'm back on the grandma on the Shelly.
Oh no, y'all already see the title. Today we are watching. Streamer Awards were a mess. Omizi has something to say about it, and I'm kind of want to hear about it because Streamers Awards was last week when I'm recording this. This is December 10th. A lot of shit happened. I saw that girl. I don't know who she is. She was hosting it. Had some really bad jokes. A lot of other shit happened. People were upset about Adapt winning over DDG and Require for Breakout Streamer. I think it's absolutely... Adapt has been on the internet for 10 plus years. For him to win Breakout Streamer, it means he basically... People are like, oh, why did he win? Why did he win? He's been doing this for 10 plus years. And then people are nitpicking, talking about like, oh, it's streaming. He just started streaming recently. First of all, he used to stream on Twitch in 2021, 2022. You young niggas are need to shut the fuck up. Alright, bruh. Adapt has been on this shit. It's just, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I'm just saying, for somebody who's been doing it so long, usually we see people's fan base fizzles out and it kind of plateaus. But Adapt, I feel like every 5 years or so, he reinvents himself and blows back up again. He like recaptivates an audience, locks them back in after taking a break. Like, I feel like this is his cycle. He always does that, and he always comes out bigger and better. And it's just the different format this time, which is streaming, other than trick shot videos. You know what I'm saying? But Adapt has been doing this shit since I started watching YouTube. So
congratulations to you. Oh, and also, congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. Ooh. That was you, right?
Oh, brother, that guy stinks.
Yep.
But what's the correlation between Diddy and Kai?
Sorry for coming a little late to this video. I am fresh from the Streamer Awards talking about India Love, and I would be a bad hostess with the mostest, a bad commentary channel if I did not discuss the entire cringiness and the drama surrounding the whole Streamer Awards. From the lack of representation to the bad production.
Black Boy Max in the booth.
Oh, and they showed the shade.
All the way to the cringy and even what people would deem as racist jokes.
Rakai, question. What's the coolest thing you've ever stolen?
That was kind of funny, but not really.
If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way for the channel.
But where's the setup for the joke?
The Streamer Awards is put on by streamer QT Cinderella, somebody who is a figurehead in the community. She's also the wife of Ludwig, one of the more popular streamers in the world. And the purpose of...
I know who Ludwig is. From State Farm Games or whatever they call it. I don't know who QT Cinderella is. I always hear her mentioned, but I don't know. But I really did not know who she was. But okay, interesting.
This event is to get together and recognize the community at large. And this is supposed to be put on by the community for the community. While there are some ups in quality, ups in sponsorships, I mean, this was a total black tie event that I can honestly applaud from a production standpoint. There's always some nonsense that comes out of this. And it all starts with a badly timed and honestly disgustingly distasteful jokes.
Broke the record for the most expensive haircut and the least educational...
Well, you want to know why? Because it's, like he said, it's independently brought on for QT by her. You know, it's fairly new, you know, they haven't been doing it for so long. So, usually for like Oscars and shit, they have the comedians submit their jokes. They essentially submit their script. Now, they do, in the moment, they can go off script and do something different. But they've also, like, Grammys, Oscars, shit like that, they've been doing it for so long. They have such production teams, if they need to, cut to commercial, cut to different angle cutter mics, so it does not get streamed out that way. This is something being brought up, so it's like, I doubt she had her submit her script. I doubt anybody, like, this is like, oh, free reign, just, you know, be funny, don't be too crazy.
Broke the record for the most expensive
and it's also streamed. When you stream things, you can't filter them.
Educational university. So, congratulations to you. Oh, and also, congrats on your new documentary with 50 Cent. That was you, right?
Ooh.
She's not really funny.
If you all gonna be on the mic, now turn this shit on. Turn this shit on. If you all gonna be on the mic making jokes, at least let it be funny.
Oh, okay. It really feels like it's like low budget, like early budget. Like it's really just like string something together. They really should not have streamed it. They should have recorded it edit it, and then put it up. You know, but it's just something.
Making jokes, at least let it be funny.
I'm not gonna lie, you feel me?
It's like a startup for
I get
real.
it. I know y'all doing comedy roast. That's part of award shows. But damn, bro. Compare bro to the Diddler Live. Like, damn. To the Diddler Live saying his university, no education. Damn. Yo, in my personal opinion, I think Tyler a real ass nigga.
Normally at award shows, there's a little bit of tongue-in-cheek, you know, joshing on people type of nature.
Yeah, I respect
comes
that for
with
Tyler.
hosting the gig. No matter if that's the main host or the host that just kind of fill in of the different slots. But there's a couple of things to note in these conversations, specifically when it comes to the Streamer Award. Now, this isn't the first time any award show has been criticized about the distasteful nature of said jokes being said at the award show. In 2024, comedian Joe Coy got backlash for his jokes about Taylor Swift at the Golden Globes. And as recently as 2025, Trevor Noah, another comedian, got backlash for his illegal immigration jokes when he was hosting an award show. Now, the fundamental difference between those award shows and the Streamer Award shows is those award shows have a writer's room that sets jokes. You know,
Yes.
these are full of comedians, full of professional writers, etc., putting these things together and then kind of taking some sort of stances, but supposed to be in a tasteful way. Now, even though they fell flat, it was in a writer's room with, you know, a bunch
like
of different
people made the
people,
decision
and
together.
I would say not necessarily any targeted attacks. But from the outside looking in on these Streamer Awards jokes, these are individuals from one side of the internet, the Pogger side, aka the whiter side of the internet, doing a bunch of targeted jokes to the WL side, the blacker side of the internet.
Rakai, question.
Yo,
What's the
She's really pretty, but she's the one putting it on, so there's only so much you could say. But I don't like that. That's the title name for the different sides. It definitely adds up. It makes sense, but it's interesting. But it makes sense.
coolest thing you've ever stolen? Don't answer it. It's a test. It's a test, Rakai. Have you learned nothing? Don't answer it. Don't answer it. Take his mic. Take his mic. What?
Well, the way she's going
Well,
about
yeah,
it.
No, he's learned his lesson. He's not allowed to answer that.
The
All
way
right,
she's going about it after the fact, like asking, is not really funny.
Yeah,
That nigga Reggie.
The internet.
Oh, he's learned his lesson.
Wait, did
He's
she
not
mention
allowed to answer
Reggie?
that. All right, extra Emily. Yeah.
They gotta let. Ooh, she would have said something about
The internet took
Reggie.
note about the multiple situations that happened during this stream where it seemed as though QT Cinderella, somebody who sits on the Pogger side of the streaming community, was sending targeted jokes and roasts to the WL side, the blacker side of streaming. Hell, even that production issue that I mentioned earlier where Deshae Frost was confused for Blackboy Max was only done to black streamers as opposed to any of the white streamers that were also in attendance. Now, I will remind you all that the nature of the award shows is the fact that there is some sort of roasting or ribbing elements to it. But again, there is a level of professionalism that also goes along with it.
So basically, my logic tells me that they're trying to. I guess it's supposed to be a roast, but I don't think niggas understand that it was. But see, I don't think that was communicated.
weren't
either. So
roasting
I guess
everybody, though.
like I guess the audience. I guess it's supposed to be a roast. Like it's supposed to be that, but it's just a bad comparison. I ain't gonna lie. I think it probably would have been funnier if the documentary did. Oh my god, the documentary didn't release. Cause it's like if a nigga said like a Jeffrey Dahmer joke or some shit, right? So it's L joke, and it might, if anything, it also might be L timing, right?
Now, I will say there's a subsection of people that did not feel as if this was disrespectful. And I do think that this brings me to my larger point in this conversation. But there were some that said, yo, if you are a streamer and you can't understand this, you don't need to be in the game.
Stupid. These people are stupid. These people are stupid. They can't take jokes, man. They're streamers.
But
okay?
they weren't
They're
good jokes, though.
Streamers. Get out of the streaming space if you can't handle it. Oh my god. Chat, roast us every day, and these young kids can't take a goddamn joke. That is streamers should be the biggest people. I mean, we should be able to take the jokes the most because we deal with it every day. If you can't take a joke, get the out of here, you loser, you loser. loser. If you're gonna be crying because I called you a loser for that, get out of my face.
For one, the people that were delivering jokes to one another are usually a part of their community. If your community roasts you, you roast your community back. If I'm in AMP and I roast across the board to another AMP member, Clover Boys roast to another Clover Boys member, FaZe roast to another FaZe member, that's a whole different conversation than somebody that sits totally across the aisle in the whole entire streaming community from me. Like, it's just a different concept. And two, there is an underlying racial issue in the WL Hoggers streaming community that just kind of gets swept underneath the rug. And in an opportunity in which a bunch of people can get together that don't normally work together, you know, they're peers in the industry but not really friends, it kind of gets highlighted. There's a clear-cut disconnect between what is appropriate, what's inappropriate, what's even a part of your community, what's a part of this, what's a part of that. And it didn't just show up in the awards, who won, it showed up in the nominations, it showed up in the jokes, it shows up every time this happens.
The Streamer Awards this year and Cutie Cinderella's racist jokes are basically just the symptom of a collapsing society that no longer has a social baseline on how adults are supposed to be. Grown 30-year-olds that have regressed so much in social cues to the point that they cannot recognize that microaggressive friendly roast dynamics is not going to work in a room full of strangers, even if they are your peers. It's not that racist jokes are suddenly funny, it's just that streaming and our digital environment has completely eroded our social cues over time just because of how much we've rewarded shock value. It's also just insanely weird and regressive behavior to only bring up people's scandals at your streaming show where you want them to feel welcome. Honestly, the only reason why I can think of the fact that Cutie Cinderella was literally clip farming weird racist microaggressive jokes at her own highly publicized awards show is because there is very little remaining normalcy in society.
It wasn't just the cringe or weird jokes that were made to Kai or Rakai. There was an oddly placed joke about Queso eating a lot of food, you know, a joke based in fat phobia.
I want to congratulate Kai for reaching over 1 million subs. Incredible.
These are jokes you can make to them if you know you're cool with them, like in person or in a room. But on something that's naturally out, like nationally or technically worldly outputted, you know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be saying shit like that. Like,
he just barely beat out Queso, who could only eat 900,000 subs. Yeah.
And then there was this weird interaction with the FaZe table where I don't even know if she was trying to get a joke off or just get her shit off, but nothing about what she said landed at all.
Big table! Woo! Or was it misogynistic? I don't remember. Jason, Sakura, the internet's favorite couple, hi. And their short gay son, Ron.
If you go back and listen to every single one of those clips, you'll notice a strange...
I was about to say, because women aren't funny.
Lack of audio after any of these jokes are being said. That's because nobody in the room thought it was funny. And every moment of silence to me highlighted the divide that exists between the streaming world. Now, I don't want to act like the people that put on the award show were the only ones that were cringe the entire night. We do have the entirety of the India Love situation where she stormed on stage calling for Rakai to be the winner and recipient of Breakout Streamer of the Year, or DDG, whichever one, which also doesn't make any sense. But I covered that in an entire video, so make sure you go check that out as well. It's safe to say the entire streaming world was watching this event, and QT Cinderella kind of fell flat on her face, especially because she and her collective made a big deal about this event going into what was going on that night. It was a beautiful night that was marred by bad joke after bad joke, targeting select streamers, and ultimately highlighting the divide between streamer groups. Now, I do want to acknowledge that all was not lost. There were some beautiful moments, beautiful speeches from the award winners. There was a lot of motivation going on, and I think overall there were some big positive highlights. We got to see Speed and Kai in the same room. We got to see I Love Puzzles in the same room. Some streamers that are very, very wholesome, winning awards, celebrating, and then going back to their community, letting them know that all the hard work they put in was not for nothing. But it is such a shame that a big event...
I don't think this is in a... Oh, well, people voted. Apparently people voted. So I don't know if it was fans, viewers online. That's definitely the way it should have been. If people online voted, that's how it should have been decided, I guess. But, like, how do we make sure it's not, like, a botted voting system? 2... I don't know.
Like this but it is such a shame that a big event like this left such a bad taste.
I was gonna say, what did the awards really mean? You know what I'm saying?
People's mouth due to a few things, a few bad apples. Most notably, a couple of the bad apples were on the hosting and production side of things. But boy, oh boy, there is a problem in the streaming community, and I think that Cutie Cinderella just tipped over the first domino that is gonna unearth.
Well, it is what it is. Like, the streaming community isn't like it's fairly new. It's like Hollywood in the beginning, but it's what I'm saying. Like, it's not gonna get respected fast, and it's really not gonna get respected fast because of the way it just is. And here's what's even crazier. I don't necessarily think it should be as respected as Hollywood, television, or the music industry, and there's a reason because of that. It's kind of, as I'm streaming right now, I'm just saying, like, I cherish the art that is Hollywood, and people are saying, oh, this is gonna take over television, short form, or like what people watch. People watch streamers. People don't watch movies. People don't watch TV shows. That's not fucking true. Kids watch streamers and shit, but they're gonna move on to TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait 5 more years, because when the real streaming kids are in their 20s, 25s, then we'll really see. Wait at least 5 more years, because I'm about to turn 25, and I'm really coming up with the same time as streaming industry. So, like, in 5 years, we'll have younger niggas that are, like, in high school right now, in their mid-20s, 20s, you know what I'm saying? Let's see how they would develop for real. Let's see. But with that being said, if anything I said makes sense, I appreciate a like. But that being said, I'll catch you on the next one. I'm ready. I'll catch y'all. Boom.